Hello and welcome to Bloomberg Quint. We are currently looking at the crisis at Jet Airways and what has followed since last night's announcement by the airline to suspend its operations on a temporary basis. To discuss this issue further and overall the developments in the aviation space, we have with us Mr. Parvez Damania, an aviation expert himself and was a former promoter of Damania Airways. Mr. Damania, let me first start with the situation at Jet Airways. What do you make of it? This is the second large airline to have been grounded just in the last 10 years. What is your view, sir?
I think it's completely terrible what has happened. And I would say it is not only terrible for Jet Airways and its employees, but it's a terrible setback for the entire industry as well, because this makes the whole aviation story look doubtful, because India was the largest growing market in the world and going to be the third largest market in the world. Now, this has put a complete stop on the whole situation. And I am completely confused how this matter was handled by State Bank of India. They said that they were going to infuse the 1,500 crores. If they said, why did they infuse it? On 25th March, the chairman specifically said that this was not an NPA. If they were not going to do something about it, why did they convert the loan to equity? I mean, too many questions. And what is confusing me is that they have let Naresh Goyal completely off the hook. They have made him resign. He has left the country. You've taken over management of the airline. Now Naresh Goyal is scot-free. How are you going to pin it on him? Has he given his personal guarantees? I don't understand what is happening. I'm completely confused. And what is that? But the 20,000 people have lost their jobs. I mean, what is going to happen to these people here? Where are they going to find employment? And another thing, we're just talking of banks and employees. We want to understand what kind of money has Airport Authority of India lost, what kind of money has Indian Oil lost, and the hundreds and hundreds of small vendors. I mean, this whole thing is a fiasco, and can you imagine the number of people who must be stuck at different airports? Today, Bombay, London, one-way economy hopping flight is ₹1 lakh here, or London, Bombay. What happens if a family is stuck in London with 4 people, 5 people? I mean, this whole thing is a fiasco. I think it's handled very, very badly, I think.
Right, Mr. Mania, but do you think that it was an issue of time in the sense that if these lenders would have acted probably a few months in advance?
I think if they were really seriously planning to sell the airline, or they were really planning to market the airline as a sellable product, they should have pumped in the 1,500 crore, got the airline into top shape, and then market it. Now, my worry is, if the government is saying this is a temporary, I don't think this is temporary. If the parking lots of Jet Airways and all the slots of Jet Airways are distributed among other airlines, the aircrafts are taken away by the leasing companies. The aircraft that were owned and mortgaged by Jet Airways are attached by the banks. What will be left for the new buyer to buy? That is what I don't understand. And if State Bank of India doesn't get a buyer, what are they going to do with the equity that they have? I'm 100% sure the shares are going to start collapsing very fast every day now. I think this fiasco is actually going to be much worse than Kingfisher. And another thing, if banks were going to support Jet Airways, and the chairman of State Bank of India said on numerous interviews on March 25th, that's a great product, we will not let it down. And then suddenly what happened? Then why was there dilly-dally? And if you were so sure that, and if you did so much due diligence before giving it that 300, 400 crores, why didn't you do similar due diligence while giving the 8,500 crores? I'm confused. If Jetter winds up completely, how much money are you going to recover?
Mr.
And is there going to be an investigation? Is there a forensic audit on? I don't understand what is really happening.
Well, Mr. Mania, there was a forensic audit that was initiated by SBI in Jet Airways. It was given to EY. Now, we had reported earlier that that was focusing on very specific aspects of the business and not the entire business. But according to you, if any bidder wants to step into this case, do you think that a forensic audit is necessary for them to be sure about their investment?
What I am saying, whether that audit is required or not, I am very confused is there going to be a bidder and what is the bidder going to buy? If there are no slots available and if there are no parking lots available, all the aircrafts are taken away by the leasing companies and some of the aircrafts I know have been transferred to other airlines in India. What will be left? What will the bidder buy? What will the bidder do with the 16,000 or 20,000 employees?
Right.
How will their families be protected? I'm completely confused. And Jet Air had a huge amount of labor outside that were not on their payroll. What happens to all those people? So many lives have been devastated. I mean, this whole thing is terrible. And now people who will get employment will work at half the salaries. And people who were duty managers at the airport, duty officers at the airport, reservation staff, those people are not going to get any jobs anywhere. If somebody has been working in Jet Air for 25 years, 22 years, if somebody's 45, 47, where are they going to look for jobs here? Why did they let Naresh Gol go? They should have kept him in India till this whole thing was sorted out here. Actually, by making him resign, they've got him off the hook.
But in your experience, when an airline says that it's temporarily suspending its operations, what is the likelihood of it coming back?
Restarting is very, very, very difficult. Vijay Mallya kept saying continuously over a period of time, we are going to restart, we are going to restart, we are going to restart. The staff kept coming to office and ultimately couldn't restart it. See, once an airline is shut down, getting the whole system started, what I want to understand is how many aircraft the Jet Air had or leased are still with Jet. We don't know anything, but I know a fact that a lot of leasing companies have either taken the aircraft back or given it to other airlines in India.
Right. Mr. Damania, also one other question. What does this mean for the aviation sector as a whole? Now, one major airline has gone away.
I think it's a great setback. It's a very big setback and not in the positive direction. And it's going to take substantial time for the sector to recover out of all this. Of course, it's a huge, huge, huge gain for the present airlines in India. Now I think Indigo will move very fast on a great expansion plan. So I think but it's very terrible for the consumer because now the consumer is going to end up paying a fortune for their flights. So overall, I think it's sad. There's such a big company folding up. And what I don't understand, mustn't SBI, I'm not a CEO or something, but mustn't SBI have realized over a period of time that the losses were building up? Wouldn't they have been woken up earlier? I mean, why did they take till March 25th to make Naresh Gol resign? When Jet Air was flying at its full power, I'm sure there would have been a lot of people who would have loved to buy an airline like that because it had excellent routes, excellent international routes, excellent network, and it was a good product. See, I cannot fault with the product what Jet was. It was a good airline. What happened, whether there was siphoning of the funds, whether there was mismanagement, and this needs to be studied. I don't know. State Bank of India should make a complete study of it.
I'll take your point, Mr. Damania, and with that, thank you so much for joining us on Bloomberg to discuss these developments. That was Parvez Damania on the situation at Jet Airways and what it means for the entire aviation sector. According to him, things are looking very difficult for the entire sector as well as the airline itself. Thank you so much for watching.